How's it going again, everybody? Going back at you with some more of my DVD overview, my DVD collection overview. This time around, I am on to the E section of my TV on DVDs. So let's get it going and start it off nice and good with the only E in my collection of TV on DVD. Exo Squad Season 1 on DVD. I swear they did like a small print run of the second season. Maybe I'm just no, that's wrong. They had it on Hulu. They had the second season on Hulu. Regardless, Sean told me about this show, Zaren Isaac, and then I found it for like $5 or something like that at Big Lots. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I watched the first few episodes and haven't really watched it since. I think because he said he wanted to watch it with me or something like that. I apologize. My throat is... yeah. It's acting very strange right now. Anyways, that's E. On to the F's. F, Family Guy. I got this for like $2 or $3. I believe it was from Amazon. I found like a used sale for this for $2 or $3, and I said, well, 2 seasons of Family Guy for $2 or $3, that's not a bad deal at all. Even though at the time, and even now, you can just turn on the TV just about anywhere and see Family Guy all the freaking time. I was just like, you know what? I'd like to at least have it in my collection in some way, shape, or form. At least the first 2 seasons, which I liked more than some of the other stuff that's come since, although I do like, an episode or 2 here or there now and then. But yeah, I mean, there are some funny, memorable quotes and stuff like that in this one. The only problem is that, for whatever reason, this has been my only experience with disc rot, and some of these have some pretty bad disc rot to the point where I can't even get them to play. Let me see if this is the disc that I'm thinking of. It might actually be the second disc, but hold on here. No, this one's got it pretty bad too. I don't know if you can tell here. Jeez, the lighting is just not very good for this. There you go. There you can start to see how the inner ring there is kind of rotting away in some ways. Yeah, I'm experiencing issues with this Family Guy set, and that's sad. But if I go to replace it, I only paid like $2 or $3 for this in the first place, so it's not like I'm losing out a whole lot. Anyways, next up we've got Freakazoid Season 1 on DVD. I remember watching this all the time when I was a young scamp of the age of like 12 or 13. I was just becoming a teenager. And it was funny because I grew up watching like, first when I was younger, when I was like in the 80s, when I was really young, I would watch Saturday morning cartoons, so I'd watch Looney Tunes and stuff like that. Looney Tunes would usually be like the stuff that they saved for the last, and they put it in like a 1 or 2 hour block or more. Felt like more, at least. It felt like it lasted for hours and hours and hours of just Looney Tunes. And then when I started going to school in like 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade and all that, that's when Animaniacs and Tiny Toon Adventures came out. And these are all these Steven Spielberg produced cartoons and whatnot, and I just had a blast with those. Me and my friends in school loved those cartoons, and we'd talk about them, we'd make jokes about them, we'd reference them, we'd do this and that, and it was all about getting home on time to see Tiny Toon Adventures or Animaniacs. And then just a little while later, when I'm like 11, 12, 13 years old, this comes out. and this becomes popular on the basically the same time frame of like after school cartoon programming, right? Um, and it's aimed more at teenagers and young teenagers and whatnot. And it was like they knew that these kids like me had grown up watching Animaniacs and Tiny Toon Adventures, and we were ready for something a little bit different, a little bit more teenage. And then this came out, and Freakazoid was totally freaking awesome for that. I absolutely love this show. Very glad to have the first season, although I think I would have liked to get the slipcover for this, because as you will see, well, I'll show you why I would like to have gotten the slipcover, but it's a really nice set. If you can see on the inside here, the inside of the cover has like the disc 1 on this side, and then there's disc 2, sadly a flipper disc, but disc 2 side 1 and disc 2 side 2 underneath the disc there. I like how they did that. It's pretty nice. It's even got some special features, commentary on 3 episodes, Freakazoid promos, and a featurette about Freakazoid. And the reason that I wish I could have gotten the slipcover for that one is because I got the slipcover for this one. And oh, is it nice. It is all embossed, and it's very nice. So, yeah. Very nice. Steven Spielberg presents Freakazoid Season 2. I believe those are the only 2 seasons they did, sadly. But yeah, I've got both seasons of Freakazoid on DVD. No problem with that whatsoever. I believe I got this for a steal too. Remember when they were? Some of you might remember when Ross Dressed for Less. I know I have a lot of fans who are living outside of the country or in different parts of the United States, so they might not be familiar with it. But Ross Dressed for Less, they had a small little DVD section, and sometimes you could find some really good deals in there. This was one of those deals. I believe I picked it up for like $8. Maybe even less, and I was like, holy crap, because at the time this was going for between like 12 and 15 online, so $8, heck yeah. And as you can see, it follows with the theme of putting disc 1 contents on the inside, disc 2 contents on the inside. But I kind of wonder, well, I don't wonder really, because season 2 didn't have as many episodes, right? But I kind of wish that they didn't have to put season 1 on, like the second part of season 1 on a flipper disc. I wish it could have been like this, just all on one disc. But what are you gonna do? I guess I can't complain that much. I did get it with the slipcover. Anyway, Freakazoid Season 2. Next up, ooh, I don't even have the 4th over here. The 4th is over there of this. Last Black Friday, I picked up some pretty damn good deals from the Fox Connect sale that was going on. And they had I believe it was all of the original, no, it was every season of Futurama on DVD for $6 per season. And when I saw that, I was like, I've been wanting to get Futurama in my collection for a while now, and here it is. And it wasn't just, the older releases that they were trying to get rid of. No, it was the newer releases. So when I saw that, I was just like, yeah, I will do that. So for $6, I got Futurama Volume 1 on DVD. These, even if they put these on Blu-ray, these were originally mastered for 4x3. They're originally mastered for the tube TVs at the time. So makes just as much sense to get DVD as it does to get Blu-ray. The only reason I would upgrade to Blu-ray on these would be just to make sure that I had a format that was going to last longer, because DVDs, they just don't last as long, and they aren't as trustworthy and reliable as Blu-ray is. So just for longevity's sake, I might pick up a Blu-ray set of these, but that would be it, basically. So there's season 2, or not season 2, but volume 2. Volume 3 is over there because I was watching through these earlier in the year, and I stopped in volume 3 and never got back around to it. But here's volume 4. I'm lazy. I don't want to go pick it up. But anyway, yeah, I got volumes 1 through 4 of Futurama on DVD, and yeah, that's how that went. That's how that go. That is what happened. So that would be E through F, or rather 1E and all the F's that I have. So yeah. Next up, I'm going to do, what is this? G through K. G through K. Okay. Alright. See you then.